Hello, everybody. How are we doing this very brisk January kind of day? welcome, everybody. We're getting everybody. Oh, hello. It's a person. Hello, welcome. Water No Get Enemy. What an interesting name. Uh, Welcome. We're giving everybody a moment to shuffle in, and then we will get started. I hope we have a good crowd tonight because it's always nice to have extra people when we're doing a giveaway, so people have a chance to win that. So I'm excited. Um, we are going to be covering a little bit of the public test client. It keeps changing. Oh my goodness. We're going to talk a little bit about transfers. We're going to talk a little bit about the upcoming chapter 3 and just kind of where we're at as we continue to wait for this update that will be coming soon. Right. Um, I think we've got a good crowd going. Let's get started. For those of you who are new, my name is Meg, also known as Dead Woman Walking, and we're here to talk about Dune Awakening. Yeah, for, I got to thinking about gaming the other day. It was like how long I've been gaming, and I remember going to like LAN parties, and you're carrying that 13-inch CRT monitor that weighs 9,000 pounds. And while sometimes I miss the camaraderie and I don't know, guess for lack of a better word, intimacy of a LAN party, I don't miss that. Or carrying books for RPG games where you'd have to carry, the 9,000 pounds of hardback books, or the notes and the clipboards and the dice that inevitably get lost. So yeah, it's it's been a long road to get here in gaming, and I'm excited to see where things go. Dune's fairly new still, so we've got a little bit of wiggle room to see how that evolves. But yeah, we are here for it, I think. Um, I'm gonna give it a moment because we often have an ad around this time. I don't. No one misses carrying around CRT monitors. I remember when we upgraded to a 17-inch CRT, and I was like, that's. I mean, it takes up your whole desk. That was like the max I could carry. I was working IT at that time, and we had some 22-inch ones and like these big 32-inch ones mounted on the walls. And it was like one wrong move, and that thing's gonna like destroy us all. So I'm glad I never had to move those because I weighed, I don't even know how much in kilo I weighed. At that time I weighed like 109 pounds. I was much smaller then, and there was just no way moving a 17-inch one about killed me. We've got an ad coming in 40 seconds, so we will give that a moment, and then we'll do all the admin stuff, like the fact that there is a sale on gift subs. I forget, it's like 30% off for 5. I don't know, but it's there. I can say I promoted it. That part's out of my way. So let's wait for this ad, and then we will get to the business of talking about Dune. I've got my PowerPoint ready. I've got some promotional videos ready, and we have a lot to talk about. I hope some people who have played the PTC more are around because I've played it some, but not as much as most. Well, hello there. Welcome. And the PTC gets updated pretty regularly, and there's always these changes that it's just a whole lot of numbers that just all I know is it's pain. I have not been super happy with the amount of deaths I've had. I've probably died more in the last however many weeks this PTC has been up, 3 or 4 weeks, than I have in a very, very long time. And I'm not digging it. I'm not digging it at all. So um, I'm watching for when the ads pass, and then we can jump right into the PowerPoint. For those of you who are new, for the giveaway, you don't have to subscribe, you don't have to follow, you don't have to do anything. Just be present to win whenever we get to doing it. We'll probably do it about halfway through. I've got it written down so I don't forget. Oh, that reminds me. I do have written notes. Ad break ends in 90 seconds, and then I will show you the cool stuff that I got in, and we will jump in. The ad at the start is always rough because now I have to sit here and stall for 3 minutes and talk about how life is and my books. You know, yes, um, they do. I genuinely think that they're maybe they're a little frustrated with all the negative comments, and now this is like you said you were bored. Be bored with this, and yeah, it's been a bit of it's been a bit of pain. It's been a lot of pain. Um, I haven't even been into the dark lab yet. I don't even know what that looks like. I've been in the electric one, I've been in the fire one, and I've been in the poison one, and that was enough. And the only reason I went into the electric one was really when I went into any of them was I was tagging along with a group that knew I would be useless. Um, but we're going to talk a little bit about those. I have a plan. So the ad breaks in 11 seconds, and then we can get started with actually talking about the game and what's going on. Excuse me. Okay, we are back. So I did want to talk about, I gifted myself something for Christmas. Hello. God. This is a big book, by the way. This is a really big book. And I'm super happy with it. The art in it, if you saw some of the art before launch, this is a lot of the similar concept art. It's got the regions, it's got some of the building stuff, it's got the concepts for vehicles, it's got some different concepts for like Fayed or Ari. So you can so you can kind of see the process that they went through and some of the things that they took from the movie sets when they got to go visit back when the first movie was still being made, and they didn't know that Dune was going to turn into this big phenomenon that it has, and now here we are. Well, hello there. How are you? Yeah, the testing stations have been quite challenging, and that's something that we're going to talk about because I'm really super frustrated with them, and something's got to give very soon before these things go launch. Otherwise, a lot of us are not going to be super thrilled with this. So let me jump in. We do have our PowerPoint ready, she says as she pushes all the buttons. I was setting up admin stuff. I was setting up because I promised I would at 25 episodes. This is episode 24. I was setting up on Spotify. I do have that started. The first couple of episodes are up. Exclamation Spotify. I will give you the link. And I have gotten much better with the buttons because I'm putting up in order. And some of those early ones were a little rough. they were a little rough. But it's been a process, and so it's all of the stuff that we talked about early on with Mojo and the early beta stuff, and then having Iggy on and having Hefe and Ole Andreas on. So it's still stuff that matters, I think. But you can tell I've gotten a lot better with the buttons, which is a low bar. But yeah, so let me jump into the PowerPoint. All the buttons. Come on. I pushed the button. There we go. I couldn't handle 3 monitors, but yeah, 2 is definitely a necessity. Is that the one I want? Yes. Aha. I hit the right button. Woo! So yes, episode 24. Who'da thunk, man? We started this about a year ago. Mojo and I, after doing a couple of episodes of hey guys, the one with Andre, and for whatever reason that one didn't work out, and Mojo were like, I want to do it again. We had so much fun, so now here we are, episode 24. Time flies when you're having fun, right? Desert Dispatch. I took this picture the other day. I just thought it was I just thought it turned out really good. So that's our dispatch. As always, we have the roadmap. There's been lots of, for lack of a better term, complaint, I guess, in the official Discord about everything's delayed. No, everything's on time when they've said it is. It's within the time frame. I get everybody being anxious or excited or eager to see the new content, but it's coming. It's all within the time frame that they said it would be. To be honest, I think the what's on the test client right now needs a little more time to cook, but they didn't ask my opinion, so here we are. The chapter 3 is coming. They should have just said early 2026. So, Rabina, you were there in the official Discord over, and you remember the war over what early means. And there was a lot. There was a lot. It was a very divided Discord over what the word early means. Almost as divided as pineapple pizza. When is early? I know, because they were like early 2025. Oh my goodness! I guess it's not early. I don't know. I don't know. The war of early 2025. Excuse me. Yeah, this is the second one. On the subject of transfers, so they just opened that up this last week. This is from Iggy. This is pretty straightforward. This is not me trying to twist words or put words in anybody's mouth, but this is just what I thought was a very clear statement about transfers. You can transfer from any official Discord, any official world to any other official world. You are not limited by region. You can transfer from a private to private server if the private server is not restricting those moves. That's on the private hosts, the company, to decide. That's outside of what Funcom is doing. That's your G Portal or GeForce or NVIDIA or whoever those guys are. That's between them if they allow server transfers between them. You cannot come from a private to official. And you can go from official to private if the private hosts are allowing it. So, it's generally if you picked private, then you're probably going to be stuck on you're stuck on a private of some kind. Nitro Andre came in. He's the representative that comes in from Nitrado to kind of clarify things again. So you can leave their stuff. They have no problems with you leaving to go to another private host that is allowing transfers. But if you come to them, they're funneling into specific worlds for incoming transfers for now because they're wanting to kind of get an eye on the traffic so it doesn't get wild and crazy and people that come in for griefing. So yes, you can from other private worlds, you can go to them. And Iggy did say you could go from official to private if the private is allowing. So if you're on an official and you want to go join your friends on a private on Nitrado, you probably can, with the understanding that Nitrado is shuffling people into specific worlds. So you can move amongst them and do that. Upcoming DLC. So we have the Dune Man set, right, from Lost Harvest, right? Everybody's got this one. Everybody loves this one. Everybody wishes there were more pieces. If you have this set and you have not been on this week, you need to double check that your Prudence stores are working properly. They disabled them this week with this update. All you got to do is delete the piece and put it back, and it's fine. You can leave official, but you never can come back. Pretty much because you can tweak everything on a private, and it could potentially really balance things worse, which I find to be fair and reasonable. Anywho, coming soon to a desert near you. Mergers are not coming anytime in the upcoming weeks. I would say not coming soon. My personal thought on mergers is, so now we have transfers. People are going to shuffle around and find their new homes. then chapter 3 and all of that content will drop. Once they have all the metrics for where everybody lands, because people are going to move and transfer probably for the next month or so, because people are going to places without being able to recon and finding out that they're not happy there, whatever. So, that gives everybody a chance to move, since there's a 7-day cooldown. People really are. I don't know if it's because there's some creator somewhere or someone using AI somewhere, or there's a lot of confusion about an individual moving to wherever they want to go, and then worlds merging and or closing, and those are two different things. And I think a lot of people are really panicked about their world closing without any metrics. And I think people need to take a chill pill and relax for a moment, wait and see how the numbers go before they panic. Going by what they did in Conan, different game, different circumstances. So take that with a grain of salt. And Paolo probably remembers this too. When they closed servers in Conan because of low populations, most of those servers were in places like Oceania and South America. And that's probably where we're going to see the most right now, because they have the lowest numbers. And so there's literally whole worlds that might have like one person on the whole world, not just a siege, but the whole world. So those will probably be the most likely ones. I wouldn't expect a whole lot of closures in North America. I would expect a whole lot of. I'm not saying that we won't see any closures in EU or NA. I'm just saying I don't think that it's going to be the mass mess that people are predicting. I don't think we're all going to be shuffled into PAX or Harmony or any of those. I think that we're going to have some choice in staying in a slower, lower pop world. I don't think that all of the low pop ones are going to be closed. That's my personal speculation. I don't think that because they know not everybody wants that. Not everybody wants the crazy ping. Not everyone wants wall to wall people. And they had said early on that, Arrakis is supposed to be this big empty desert. So it doesn't make sense to try and force everybody into a place where ping could be a problem. Someone at one point was saying that they should just close all of Oceania and make them log into Asia. And I'm like, you realize that people on the south side of Australia are really, Australia is a really big continent. So someone on the south side of Australia, you're telling them to log in across a whole ass ocean to another continent to play a game that requires a ping that doesn't suck. And I'm like, that's unreasonable. So it's trying to find the balance of players to ping and kind of balance that. I think that they're going to I don't think we're going to have the mass closures that I think that people were fearing. And this was true. There was a lot of worry early on. I saw a lot of conversation about, will there be Oceania servers? Will there be Oceania servers? Yes, there are. And I don't think that they're going to close all of Oceania. I think they're going to be very careful and mindful of players, because you want people to keep giving you their money. I mean, that makes sense. You don't want to make a player base mad, because that's your money. So we shall see. I could be speculating. I am speculating. I could be wrong. It wouldn't be the first time. The third DLC. This is just cosmetics. This is not a story like Lost Harvest. This is just the build pieces. And I know everybody's been mad since May of last year. Let's be real. Everybody's been mad. They've been mad longer because they didn't get into the beta. People have been mad for the last 18 months. Let's just be real. People are still salty about not getting into the beta. And all I could think of was, did you peak in high school? Why are you still mad about something that ended months ago? I know this base it's not very functional. I mean, if you're going to build something and just flex that you can pay the taxes, it's still salty. I can respect it to an extent, but getting mad at other people who did get in and constantly berating them about it is probably not the best idea. I do want to show, as a reminder, the short little promo video that they gave us to kind of show off the new content, and I really am looking forward to. Oh, that would be upsetting. The email problem that a lot of people had. I am loving the new armor looks though, because that light one that's on that side reminds me of a fencing vest. The masks that remind me. Speaking of Star Wars, earlier, it reminds me of the pike from Star Wars, and the skins, but the guy there in the back with the sword, that looks pretty badass. You got to admit that looks pretty badass. And the buggy. I want the buggy. Even though we're kind of at the point where we don't use the buggy frequently. I mean, we use it in the deep desert, obviously, and we use it in the Sheol. But the buggy just looks pretty kick-ass. I want it. And yeah. But yeah, that particular base, I think it's really showing off all the potential parts more than anything. We've got lots of different build pieces. There's a couple of different roof types there going on. And yeah, I think that there's some people who are going to really do really creative looking things on it. And that's one of the things I love finding is people do some pretty kick-ass builds. And you can't complain about that. So let me go back to my PowerPoint because we have to do PowerPoint, right? It's something for the Landsrod. I don't have the one from the live stream. I don't. I know which one you're talking about, but I've not been able to get a good image of that one from any of the promotional stuff that they've given us. Someone was asking about this today. So the Landsrod personal rewards. Okay, there's like the 700, 3,500, 7,000, blah, blah, the one that's the 14,000 points will no longer award armor swatches. Okay. Those swatches are now going to be available at a vendor and sold for Solari at a vendor in Arakeen and Harco. Those swatches have been removed. They're not going to cover all of your garments, your weapons, and your vehicles. Now the swatches will be the building piece swatches. So for all of your benches and boxes and things inside your building, now it's those swatches. So now you can have your clothing swatches, and now you can have your all the colors and everything that they were showing in the stream on your stuff. So that has changed. My understanding is yes. So Sabrina's asking if you've earned the house armor swatch, will it be changed to work on all armor types? That's what it applies here. The swatches have been reworked to come in garment, vehicle, and weapon. So my understanding is it should be, if you have the armor one, it's going to be garment now, which is, I think, is one of the things that people have really been wanting is the whole garment. So instead of just one type of armor, all of your clothes now could have the swatch on it. That's what I read that as. So fingers crossed. Speaking about the Landsrod, one of the big changes is it's actually, because they had said before Landsrod is end game, and it really wasn't. It was very tacked on. They've changed it, so now you must be faction level 5 to even engage with it, and they've made it part of the faction quests. There's an integrated thing now. I don't have the stuff for Peter, but I do have it for Tufir. I've got a short little video. Let me. Oh, that's not what I wanted. Buttons. I hit the wrong button. Surprise. So this is what happens when you reach faction rank 5 with Atreides. And it's going to be the same for Harkonnen. You're going to go to your Mentat of choice, and he's going to take you to your royal of choice, and you will sign the paperwork.
I expected you. Sorry. Occupational hazard.
He's such a
Show me,
mint at you, just want to
but
kind of
very
snark.
carefully. You've accomplished the impossible, or at least the improbable. More to the point, I think you're ready.
And we
This
need it as a
bad
story to get
spice
back
is
to the poison
important
spice
enough
because
to
it plays a
warrant
big part
imperial
in lore.
influence. I became suspicious of the Emperor's sudden declaration of a non-combat zone in the very place containing the bad spice canisters. This changes everything. This moves us to a bigger game board, or we just might save my house.
From a story perspective, I'm going to pause right there. From a story perspective, when we go into the siege with Ari, she's like, "Oh, this is Arrakis is such a little place; it's so insignificant." Ari is not a reliable narrator because Ari doesn't know as much as she thinks she does. Tufir is a more reliable narrator because he does know more about what's going on, and here he is saying the story is big, and so we need to come back to this, even if it's not a faction story. It's still part of our story.
I am saying, it is past time you meet Duke Leto Atreides.
He looks very angry. That tattoo just makes him. Correct. If you are already faction rank 5, just go talk to your mentat of choice, and they will continue on. So this is the cutscene. Many of us have seen it. He is a little grumpy. At some point, I need to do all that with Harko. I've never done it. He does. It's a little scraggly. Oscar Isaac.
Mr. Hawat says you've earned a reputation for results, Agent. That's good. We need soldiers who answer Harkonnen cruelty with Atreides resolve.
Ooh.
You've done all we could ask. Because of your work, the bad spice epidemic has been contained, although its cause remains elusive. The city breathes easier tonight, and that is no small gift.
He's talking to us.
Than that. The house owes you. I owe you. Very good, Agent. Your experience navigating the Badlands and back alleys is required. While the open fighting cools, the real war shifts to politics. The Landsrat is its own battlefield. Through trust, Agent, and through influence. A stronger force in conflict than any sword, cannon, or warship.
It's tooth whitening gum.
Great houses move their envoys across Arrakis like pieces on a board. Every smile hides a calculation. You must go amongst them. Gain their trust where you can. Trust begets influence, and influence wins allies. Indeed. I can see that Master Hawat did well in choosing you. Your mission is to seek out these envoys and give them aid. Provide service that goes beyond our banner. And doors will open. Doors will open and missions of greater consequence will follow.
So now he does speak to you. Tufir, however, does not. But basically, Tufir goes through this whole thing that essentially introduces you to the new skill trees. A little bit bugged. I found another audio recording that talks about the beast, in reference to the poison spice. So, yeah. But basically, he's telling you that there's this mental flutter system that they're going to set you up so you will learn things, then that knowledge will be there for you to learn as you encounter them, which makes no sense to me, but it's space opera, so we just kind of roll with it into a neural lattice. But basically, it's I think it's their hand waving for how we have this new skill tree that will come with the Landrod, the combat, the um, sabotage. It is a bit confusing, and I mean, I think it's very Dune, but yeah, I got stuck with Ambrose too. I didn't poison the spice, and it kept saying to go talk to her, and then I would try to talk to her, and she wasn't there, so I'd go back and talk to Fear, and he would either tell me goodbye or send me to the Siege Tarl, and then I'd come back, and so it was just a lot of back and forth. And after about a week, it finally worked. I don't know. I mean, I bug reported it, but yeah, they poke things in your head, which to me, there's something very concerning to me about this whole process, because it's like we're going to put these memories into your head for you to know things that you don't remember yet. And I'm like, you do know we're Gola, right? That can't backfire or anything, right? It's not like we haven't been subjected to neural conditioning at some point. Nissan Al Ghaib. So now they're sending you forth to go talk to brain damage. Let's go. They're sending you to go talk to the other houses and start the Landsrod in an attempt to win favor for House Atreides or House Harkonnen. And I imagine it's almost the same dialogue type thing on the other side. Remembering who you were trained to become. That's not ominous at all, given who we are. And we know that Fenrir knows who we are. Fenrir knows. Um, but surely Tufir knows. Surely he does. But so that's if you have already finished level 5, you should be able to just go to your Mentat person, and then they'll do the whole mnemonic flutter thing, and the board will open up for you to access the new Lands Red processes. There was some bumps and hitches with it in testing, so it should work properly. It should. As you go through, you can get the house swatches. So this is the Harkonnen Enforcer Heavy. I forget which level this opens up. The what it looks like from the rear. I think it just looks so bug like. So bug like. The Enforcer Light. I forget which color swatch he's got on that. And the Assault Heavy. And of course, we saw the Thopter Pilot before. That's a helmet modification for it. I was thinking Vernius, except there's not a lot of purple in that. That might be Nova Bronze. They look kind of cool though. Nice options. The bike skin for Envoy, so you get some new skins for your vehicles. The carrier now has a swatch for it. It's marked down as a not a swatch. It's marked down as the other thing, but it's really just a swatch. Same thing for the spice harvesters. But now you can have some more color. You have some more options. I wonder, does it variant? Thank you. I was losing the words. I wonder if you can put swatches on top of it, like you can. These are they call them, but yeah, maybe you can see a little bit of texture on the Harkonnen one, so that I guess that's where they're getting it as a variant, but it really feels more like just a swatch than a difference. It doesn't look very different. But yeah. And thanks to Bolette and Servina for most of these images, because they actually got some traction in on the PTC, where I'm still like, I'm house level like 7 or something. And then of course the see, why does the Hark stuff always look so badass? Why? Because that just looks. I want it. I want to pretend to be the good guy, but the Hark just looks good. I know. I know. This one Sylvina also got for me. This is the Envoy sword skin. It looks badass. But that was not for rapier. That's just for the sword, I believe. And then also from Servina, this was the Envoy um, variant with the Vernius swatch, I believe. It looks pretty badass. So I like that we have some variety now. I mean, you really have to um, put some time in to get these. I will never have these because I suck, but there there they are. That looks good though. Can't deny that it looks good. It looks really good. Someone was asking about, so the Landsrod, you can get the house stuff, the board. If you're wanting to get faction things, you still have to work with the Landsrod. And so, for like, if you want the Atreides Light Envoy armor jacket, you have to be house level 15 to open that up. The house levels, it depends on how far hard you run. You can get them. Uh, eh, the buildable swatch, so even you can even color, your benches and things in house colors too, if that's what you want. And pay with house script, yes. So when you run the contracts for the Landsrod, you'll have your Landsrod points, and then you'll see on the right hand side it'll say your house script. So if you're, again, it's just another number for you to keep track of. It's a little frustrating, and right now I think it's extra confusing because it feels like everything's constantly changing with numbers. And yeah, house script. So like, this is Bean took this picture for me. He's got plenty of Solari, but not so much house script. I don't know what he's, if you just don't get a lot at a time, or if he's bought other things. I don't know, but it's there for. I worry about being a grind to get anything. I don't want that. I don't mind it being a challenge, and I don't mind being a reward for a challenge, but a grind that's going to take me 3 months to get one thing does not feel good. So we'll just have to see how it balances out. Speaking of challenging things and stuff to come in the future, so when you go to Old Carthag, when you get out of the Thopter, you'll see that the vehicle has armament. This is at Helios. This was on live. This was not on the PTC. They're teasing us. They're absolutely teasing us. They are cruel, cruel people to do this to us. Awful, awful mean people. Okay. We're always being peace. We are. So, community roundups is where we look at things that people across all of the communities, from the official Discord to Reddit to Facebook or whatever, that I can find that looks cool, looks fun, that the community have put together for us, just because we're a whole nerdy bunch and we do that. This showed up in my Discord. And I thought it was hilarious and had to share it because it's true. It is by caffeine alone I set my mind in motion. It is by the coffee bean that thoughts require speed, the teeth require stains, and the stains become a warning. I think this was the first movie I encountered this particular actor, and I've thought him weird ever since. He plays. I can't see him and not see the eyebrows. It doesn't matter what he's in now. He was in Aliens. He's got the eyebrows. They did remove them from Arakeen, but in return, they've got a couple of tanks hidden in the back. So, and the air defense stuff is hidden in the back too. They are cruel to us. This was from the official Discord. This is called "Is This a Butterfly" by Marcy. They've done other art for us that we've seen in the past that I've grabbed from the official Discord. There is a whole thread towards the bottom called fan art. So if you are an artist, they have stuff. Brad DeBoif. I know Brad. Everything Brad does. Brad DeRoof. I always mispronounce his name. He's weird in. I think that's just become kind of his thing. He's like, you got weirdness. You need a 5-minute weirdness monologue. Call me. I think that's where he's at. This is from a biting dude. He always does these great bowling pictures. So this is his bowling alley in the deep desert. He just does them because he likes to. There is no other reason why. Remember I said that people are making some cool stuff? This is in the this is at the edge of the Sheol, where he decided to make an ad. This is by Blackfoot on the official Discord, because somebody needed an ad, because why not? He did play Grandma Wormtongue. Like I said, if you want someone to kind of slink around and be weird, he's the guy to call. Black ad foot. But see, I'm amazed at, that's really clever. This is from Ayasomi on the official Discord. So that was a great picture that they took. Very atmospheric. You got to admit, for all of the bumps and the issues that the game can sometimes have, it is a beautiful experience. An absolutely beautiful experience. So this was on Reddit, and this is from Lance West Walker, and this is what he called his captain's quarters. And I think that is a very opulent bit of decor. I love how he's done the prop placement. I'm really, really impressed with what he's done. And he even got the lighting right. You know how hard it is to get good lighting, and then they have to wait for the sun to be right, because otherwise it gets blocked or whatever. But this is this this is only the first. There's a whole bunch of images for this particular build. So go on Reddit, look for Lance West Walker, because this is what he did. That was the captain's quarters for this, and this is in the deep desert. I agree. Hefe went a little nuts with the poison floors, but then there we are. We're all, He's even got a Jolly Roger on there. I mean, how many build pieces is that? up on like 5 spindly legs. That's impressive. This is an arena by EV on Harmony. That was a good screenshot. This is from Int Speak. This one's Respect for the Dead. I had to get chocolate at the wrong moment. Okay, I will stop with the chocolate. Another one from Evie. The old G's. I know. Um, Back in the day, if you were in the beta, you know what this is. You can still do this. You can take a chassis for a buggy. You can stick everything up there, but you notice it's missing some pieces. You can't stick a working vehicle to the wall, but you can stick a chassis. You can stick the storage. And what we used to have to do, okay, back in the day, there was no way to get things from your vehicle to a box other than to take the stuff out of the vehicle personally, go over to the box, put it in the box, and back and forth. And initially, this was a huge problem because we had these massive bases. You'd pull into the ground floor on your buggy, 10 floors up to go drop the stuff off, and back and forth and up and down. And it was horrible. It was hellish. And then they created a kind of like a tether system. So if you parked your vehicle right next to a box, the little drop down worked. But again, it was very tedious. And to get around that, we put a buggy about halfway across the building. And you could put it into a wall, and you could use the drop down. So you in your garage, put your stuff from the garage, from the buggy to the box in the garage. And then you go elsewhere and from that box, and you put it into the buggy on the wall, go to where you wanted it, open up the drop down to get the buggy on the wall, put it in that box. And it was like this hopping things from box to box to box, but it was still faster than carrying it. So in the old days, we had to do this. It was the worst. It was so tedious. And we were like, yes, thank you for letting us have that drop down, but can you make it longer than, can you make the radius for it longer than 10 feet? Now it's the whole 5. But at first it was very, very tedious. And I mean, now if you wanted to commemorate your first buggy, you could stick up on the wall. I did haul it for a long time, and we built buggies into like the columns of things because otherwise it was just awful. And then we learned very quickly just make your base smaller. We had some big bases, and then we just had to make them smaller because I was like, I'm not schlepping this stuff up and down these giant bases that people were making. This is from Gamma Squirrel on the official Discord. I thought it was a great screenshot. That's probably my favorite still suit. Outside of the movie still suit, this one's my favorite one. I don't know why. It's just some nostalgia. It's the face. I like the face on it. This is from Get Burned on the official Discord. They got a glitch into a sandcrawler. It's not even their sandcrawler. They don't even have access to it. Excuse me. And yet they ended up inside. I find it interesting that they created the cabin and things. I've glitched into parts of the transport before, so there's like stairs and stuff in there, but we can't actually move around in it. So I find it interesting that they completed that, so to speak. This is from Godspeed. This is their PvP arena in the official Discord. Again, I believe I grabbed this from the screenshots sector of the Discord. There's lots of people post some really great stuff. They have some really great builders that share their stuff. Naturally, it's at night. Why do people keep sharing the stuff at night? And this is the arena from the inside. So I thought that was pretty impressive. Wedges are an advanced building technique thing. They're really hard to use, and so this one's got a ton of wedges. Yeah, I think they did put a video up, but this one's got a lot of wedges. This is very complex, so it's a very impressive build. I was gonna say, Paolo and I both played Conan. We know the challenge of wedges. I struggle with wedges because they don't math the same way that the square pieces do. So they can be really challenging to use. But if you can get them to work, they're really impressive. This is from John Helldiver on the official Discord. Hey, Kason. Yes, wedges are challenging, and there's a reason so many of us end up in boxes. We all take the same picture. We all take the same exact picture because that's from Cal on the official Discord. you know, that is a rich group. They got 2 transports and a harvester. They're not poor people like us. This one's from Kamish on the official Discord. I'm not sure what they have going on there, but I guess it's when one highliner really likes another little highliner. That's how we get new highliners. I don't know. This is from Kiera on the official Discord titled Working on My Tan. I think they've got a little too much. They look a little crispy. That's what I look like when I get out in the sun. Mitosis. Could be. Could be. This was from Malu on the official Discord. Caught a great shot in one of the Masquerade sieges. That's a really good shot. This one was Me and My Shadow from Paolo. Dropped that on my Discord. I thought it was a great shot. To be fair, when we lived in the Middle East in the summertime, your shadow is like this long. Death by sun would not take long. This was an original character piece of art by Mukau on the official Discord. It does sound like a very Harkonnen way to execute people. It really does. Maximum discomfort. Leave you out in the Harkonnen in the Arakeen sun. This was called My Siege by Gamma Squirrel in the official Discord. I thought that was an excellent screenshot. That was a 1 in 100 pick to be able to catch that. That was an excellent screenshot. Another one from Paolo. Great timing on that one. This one is Zentera inspired by Kiki Terminator on the official Discord. And for those of you in the official Discord who watched the art thread, this spawned some conversation and some kind of back and forth about Zentera and art and that sort of thing. So someone kind of made a joke and they made a joke back. The artist made a joke back. And so we got this one. Excuse me. Didn't mean to cough in everybody's ear, but someone asked for Zentera as a schoolgirl. So I like the manly legs. Oh, goodness. Boo-boo. Oh, I think, yeah. It's funny. So again, that is Kiki Terminator. It is weird. You probably saw it. I know you hang out in that thread sometimes. It's still funny though. This is schoolgirl. This is another shot from Salen on the official Discord. Everybody gets those great shots of looking up at the moon. Muad'Dib. Why do I have a weird picture? Hold on. Okay. Give me 1 second. That is awful weird. Surely I didn't drop a picture in a corner or some shit. I did. Oh, it's a video. Hold on. Oops. Give me 1 second to fix that. For some reason, it didn't center in the slide. It was up in the corner for some odd reason. I know. Buttons. I'm hoping the sound works properly on this because it was funny. Oh, dang it. Every time. I thought I was sharing it. Let me find the right. Thank you. It wouldn't be a. It wouldn't be a. It wouldn't be a podcast if I didn't mess it up at least once with the buttons. Okay. So sound, hopefully it works. Yeah. Hold on. Are we back? Are we here? Okay. That was very weird. I don't know what that was. So let me. Okay. He is passing on the world. Okay, so this is the one I want to show you. Fingers crossed this will work. Third time's the charm. No sound. Well, that's annoying. I don't know why there's no sound. Darn it. But yeah, it's everybody's screaming because darn it. The clip is called "Still Scared" by Baku on Reddit. I had it kind of low on my end because I don't want it to reverb. But yeah, when the worm pops up and you got no warning, it's a brown pants moment. This is from Terum on the official Discord. That's a really good shot. That's on the A row. Excuse me. It's good. It's one of those days. This is from Vareen Shaw on the official Discord, talking about wedges. This person has more patience than I do. This is a very impressive build. I really like this one too. That is a big build. That's got a lot of pieces and a lot of yeah, that's just really impressive. It could be there's some Star Wars there in my mind for it, but it's because the Senate thing or a Sarlacc pit or you know all kinds of things that we shouldn't talk about in public polite spaces. But it's an impressive building. It's a very impressive building. The Harkonnen pieces fit so well for a sci-fi build concept. So yeah, I like how they've kind of done their wings too. They really did some very deliberate choices with the colors. Looks good. This one's from Weebuck on the official Discord. I think several of us have had this particular glitch and just managed to catch a good screenshot out of it before he shot up into orbit, because that's how that ends. We know this one ends up in orbit. You just keep going. I think the way to get out of it is you take your belt off and then you'll fall, but at least you have depending on where you fall, you have a chance of survival versus falling from altitude where you will die. So, but yeah, it's okay. And that is the slideshow of confusion for today. I think this is probably a good time to do. Thanks for the follow. I wasn't sure if I caught that or not. I can't see what's going on Twitch while I've got the PowerPoint up. It is odd. Hold on. On my screen over here, I wonder if my internet just went bleh for a moment. Okay, so I've got an ad fixing to start. When it finishes, then when we get back, we'll do the giveaway. And that way, for the giveaway, you do have to be on Twitch. It will not work on YouTube. Sorry about that. The bot doesn't like YouTube. You don't have to follow. You don't have to subscribe. You just have to be present to win. Although I'm not saying no to follows and subscriptions. You know what it is. While we're waiting for the stuff to come back, don't forget you can access our Discord at !Discord. Again, no obligation to do anything with us but hang out and be chill. We talk about all kinds of nerd stuff. Lately we got a lot of Warhammer chatter going on. Then by request, I did set up a Throne account, this exclamation point Throne, for a very small wish list there. Then, of course, Spotify, we just got set up. There's 3 episodes. The first 3 episodes are on now. Then they'll be dropping every other couple of days for until they're caught up. I'm not sure when that will be. I'm not sure. I mean, sometimes we can do this every week. Sometimes it's every other week. And yeah, it is what it is. I'm going to try and keep up with this for a bit. We'll have to see what direction the game goes and how energy goes. And sometimes life comes up. So there, admin stuff done, self promotion done. That's the worst part of it. I suck at self promotion. And of course, I have this as a GIF, and I can't see it really well because the light's in the way, but this has got a lot of traction with the next update coming, because people keep coming in. When's chapter 3? When's chapter 3? When's chapter 3? And my answer is now soon, because why not? Didn't think we'd come back to this, but here we are. I know. You have to say it with like the italics, or soon. I know. Okay, so let me get the bot up for Twitch. All right, so I'm going to start the giveaway. There we go. It's exclamation point raffle to enter in for it's a plain copy. I couldn't afford the fancy ones this time. Sorry, guys. But it's exclamation point raffle to enter to win the key that we are giving away. If you are the winner after the stream, you're going to DM me on that Discord, and I will give you the key then. So, you don't like the Slaanesh models. See, when I think of the Slaanesh models, I think of something a little... I don't know. Come on, guys. We got to... Thank you. And there we go. So I'm going to leave it open for another minute or so for anybody who wants to enter. I'm hoping going forward we can get our hands on more keys from Funcom. I know they're talking about the whole drop thing and how to manage that. I know the drops are now going to be available on... you can go in to get them from the Chom vendor of your choice, in Arakeen or Harco, and you can buy them with Solaris. You can buy the whole Observer set if you don't already have that, which I think is fair. But it drops for one thing that we could kind of use to kind of give us a little hype for people to watch. Okay. Poor Kason is not in the official Discord and doesn't know about the color thing that goes on in there. So, all right, shall we hit the button to pick our winner? And there's our winner. Yay! DM me again, exclamation point Discord will give you my stuff. I'm easy to find, and I will give you your key so you can play, or give it to whomever you want. So congratulations. Yay. So the next half of this, where we're going to talk a little bit about the of course, like I said, you're going to see, find me on my Discord, and then I will give it to you. You don't have to stay in the Discord if you don't like us. We're going to talk a little bit about the upcoming stuff in the test client. I know we have several people here who have played more in it, so I'm sure I will be corrected by some assumptions. There was a large discussion yesterday in several discords that I'm in about the combat changes and the expectations in the lands rad that are now a thing. So now in the Lance Rod, we have options. You can go control point for points. You can do turn ins for points, and you can do kill X um, NPC for points, or some combination of those things to earn enough points to take the box, right? Or if you're like us, just earn enough points to get whatever components that you want. We usually, anywhere between the 700 and 7,000 is usually where we fall, depending. We aren't big enough or busy enough to control anything on that board. And nor would I'm not going to run around and kill however many hundreds of NPC to take or uh, this week our board has been very Regis heavy. It's like it wanted spice plast, it wanted Regis swords, it wanted shotguns, and there was another Regis thing or something. It was ridiculous with the amount of Regis stuff and spice dura. It was redonkulous how much Regis stuff. And for us, that kind of defeats the point. We're trying to get the components so later we can make the Regis stuff. I don't have spares to give away for controlling the board. We aren't active enough for that. So the new system is now 100% contract based. And so there's contracts that you can take in Haga Basin to go do a thing that are usually pretty short, but the majority of them are on the overland now. There's 4 new locations and 4 new testing stations. The testing stations, you can do all of it without having any faction stuff. But to do the testing stations, you can also set the difficulty from level 1 to 100. Now, if you want to run level 100, you have to run 1 through 99 first. And if you can run that, then you are better than 99% of the players because no one's done it yet. I think people are stalling out in the mid 20s. I think that's where everybody's getting to their stopping point because the difficulty gets to be a bit much. Some of us can't even get that far. And this was my concern, my complaint about the way the testing stations are being set up right now. Even if they have the faction rank, it's the grind. We have an advantage in the testing bed right now. If your gear gets busted, you just magic in some new gear with the drop down. In live, we can't do that. And in live, for those of us like my group that can't afford to throw Regis stuff away, we will need Regis things to do those, even at low level. Even if we stick at just rank 1. Right. If we stick at level 1 on a testing station, you still have to have Regis gear. And the wear and tear on that gear will be significant. Now, the NPCs in the starting rooms are generally not too bad. The times I've run them with other people, I was able to contribute. Right. I need to put it that way. I was able to contribute. In the boss room, though, you're special. You're the exception. You're like the only one. Bullet's like the only one who has gotten to those higher tier ones. Most of us are like, no, especially with when we had the problem with the drill shots, one shot killing you early on. That was messed up. Some of us suck at combat. Some of us are not combat machines, and this leads to my argument. We have 100 levels that you guys can potentially play with, and great. I'm glad that those challenges are there. I think the devs went, everybody complained they were bored before. Grind this, which is fine, absolutely fine. But why start the pain at level 1? If we all have to run those contracts to get the materials that we need to run those contracts, those need to be attainable at level 1. If they want people to be able to access those locations, they need to be accessible. a conversation came up about the Broodworks in another Discord and how challenging the Broodworks is. It's a fun map in concept. I love the concept of it. A great big sandfly map, but the NPCs respawn before you get out of there. You have to go slow because the difficulty on those NPCs is not the same as the sandflies in Hyga Basin. These guys are sandflies on steroids. So you have to go slow. Now, those don't tier up. So if you go in with a team of 4, it will be easier than if you go in solo because it doesn't change. But for the testing stations where you can get the augments, if they're not attainable, then you have to be running these other contracts. So there's if you're wanting to create a challenge for people, I respect that. But back to progress blocking, if they put the deep desert back the way it was, okay, my group, we don't even go into the testing stations. We don't go into the PvP wrecks because we aren't combat machines and we don't have the amount of time to put towards the game. Some of us only play a few hours a week. Some of us haven't been logged on in a couple of weeks. We can't afford the gear to grind those things. Sorry, didn't mean to bump the mic. To be able to attain those things, you got to have the gear to start, and the all can be skipped, with the exception of combat. You say that, but can you skip them without having done the sabotage stuff first? And that's my thing. Is I was going to show this. Hold on. This was what someone else was saying, and I got really frustrated with it. Hold on. Buttons. Because their comment was, well, just have this and that and the other. And I'm like, but you can't get this, that, and the other if you haven't already. Why is it being a little bitch? Hold on. Media. Screen. There we go. No, that's not what I wanted. Ah! Anyway, so there's. However, not all of us can skip past those guys. And not all of us will be able to get by and not be spotted or one shot. I was in the what's the one with the Masquerade? Came around the corner, headshot me, I was dead. I didn't even see who shot me. I was in tier 6 armor. So the impact on my gear, I can't afford to replace that. Like I said, in the test bed, we can magic up free stuff, but we can't go in and grind for 2 hours to do a thing. Smuggler's Run, that's which one it was. We can't grind for a couple of hours to do a thing, and then spend 10 hours grinding to replace the gear that we lost doing the thing. We don't have that kind of time, and it's really kind of not fair to push that kind of grind on people. Hold on, my system is not behaving. I can see there's chat going on Twitch, but it's not showing up on Restream. So I'm going to try and keep up with these things. It's and it's not just about my own weak ass combat skills. Okay, as much as I kind of am self depreciating about my combat skills, there are players I have carried through the game, early game, mid game, late game. If I can't achieve these things, level one in a testing station, then they can't either, and therefore blocked from that chunk of progress. I can't get to combat stuff. I can't get to augments. I'm not even saying set the bar really low for percentage for drops. I'm not talking about you. I was talking, you're doing fine. There's other players that have from the beta up until this point. Um, but if us mid casual players, because we were told before launch, can you solo this game? Because people were like, what if my friends don't like it? What if we, can't get with other people? I like soloing. Sorry, I like soloing games. We were told, yes, you can solo. It will just take you longer. This is no, you cannot solo. And this who was the guy that was streaming? There's a quadriplegic that streams this game sometimes. This would not be something he could attain, I don't think. I know he's got modified stuff, but if there's any latency between hands and thing, this would be very, very difficult. I struggle with the rushers too. I struggle with a lot of it. But I know my issues are I don't want to say niche, not common. But again, there's a whole lot here in level one that is unattainable to many people. You got 99 of the levels to play with. Give us level one. And I don't think that's unreasonable to ask for us to be able to attain it, especially if they're going to put the deep desert back the way it was. Where we won't be able to get Spice Blast, where we won't be able to get components because we can't get to Rex. It will be progress locking, even if they leave the arrow with plast on it. That's great. But if we can't get the components to replace the stuff, if we can't get the blueprints to make this stuff, because plain old tier 6 is not going to cut it, if we don't get the spice plast to make the stuff, we're done. And I'm very concerned about that. And a whole lot of games, we are all adults that work. You can live off of 3 straight. Oh my goodness. And 3 strontium, 3 titanium, and a sprig of broccoli, and you'll be fine. it's going. This new content will eat gear. I'm all for a challenge for people who want it, but I'm here for a survival game, not for a combat heavy game. If they, I'm very concerned about the talk about putting the deep desert back the way it was, because that will be progress locking. And how to put this? I know that as a group, not all PvP players are this way, but that loud minority really makes it sound like they would eat us for lunch and think that would be great. And there's been a running thing from some PvP players that PvE players don't deserve tier 6 because we don't need tier 6. And I'm like, first off, we did for the Lands Rod before with all of the Regis turn-ins to be able to make an efficient spice refiner, to make an efficient benches for the high tier stuff to turn in those things so we could be potentially competitive in the Lands Rod, which is the faction PvP that we have right now. So we did need it before. And we need it more now because these new contracts, these new locations are all tier 6. And I mean, like, Blushing Caverns, I think because most of it's outside, you could run around, you could snipe, you could do those at distance. That one's attainable at distance. I ran Blushing Caverns with some of you guys before from the public test client. I ran Broodworks with Croniel, who is an absolute combat machine and not typical. I ran the electric lab, which I will never run alone. I will only run that with people who understand that I will stand there and be blind. I cannot see anything in that lab. Um, oh, hold on. I Croniel is we played the beta together. He's a great guy, and if you run with him, he will clear the road for you. He will absolutely clear the road for you. He's a very perky Frenchman, and see, and this is back to my niche problem. My personal self, I can't fly around with the suspensors belts. I can't use the grappling hook. I can't use the knee charge. I can't use the bendu step behind the weirding step. I can't use any of those things. So I'm even more hampered and would not be. Um, yeah, so Rabina and I kind of limped through that. I was like following her, going, "Don't leave me behind." Being like, "Yeah, I can't do it." And those that hampers things. But again, even for more typical players, a lot of people came for the survival game. A lot of people came for Dune. Not everybody came for Dark Souls Arrakis. And there needs to be some balancing done before we go too much further, because I'm very concerned. Paolo is in my guild and has run some of these things. We're probably about this. I think he's probably everybody's a little bit better than me, but we're all about in the same kind of tier. We're casual players, and I'm very worried about. I'm spending my time in game right now grinding materials so we can have stuff, because once this drops, it's going to be painful. Even in Blushing Caverns, because I know we've talked about the um, the Sandflies one, Broodworks respawning. Why does that one respawn? Those guys freaking hurt. Even like Blushing Caverns, they respawn, and you have a mission that takes you back and forth across the same one, and it's just one mission. But why? Why are you doing this? The question is asked, how long do we have to prep? They have not given a date yet. My personal estimate is around Valentine's Day, because we're already at the end of June, and January. Back to when is early. We're at the end of January. It will not be this week, because someone had asked Iggy in the official Discord about it, and because they were going back and forth about timing, and he had said that they had given more than a week's notice for Chapter 2, with the implication that they would be giving a week's notice for Chapter 3. We haven't gotten it, so sometime between now and March. My personal guess is around Valentine's Day, because they had a patch they had to roll around and undo and then redo today because something broke. So it's not ready today, but today is Saturday, so I don't know. I know that they are working on the weekends. They dropped some patches like Sunday. Oh, Valentine's Day in most of the world is in February. So February 14th. Um, so that's my personal guess. That's about 2.5 weeks. But sometime before, they said they're on target for their internal stuff. Yeah, it is. It is time to really get. Excuse me. If you are a mid player, now's the time to stock up on everything, because it's gonna go through, and you will not. Typical players, us as casuals, are gonna need tier 6. I can do everything in Haga Basin fine in a or Dura still suit, no problem. I can do a few caves on the A row with it. I don't go into the big ones. And I haven't been into a wreck in ages. I can do it in a still suit. Uh, but I think when this stuff drops, and I think so. Sabina is saying it could be the 10th or the 17th, because they're not going to drop it on the weekend. They're not going to drop it on a Friday. Tuesday or Wednesday is usually a good drop date. That way, it's a weekday. Also, people are at work, so it tends to be a less of a surge. I'm gonna guess. I mean, many of you have played um, in the PTC. I don't know. I don't know. I know they're running really hard on it. They are updating quite frequently. The I also saw in the notes for yesterday or today. I can't even remember. I've lost all sense of time. Where the one where they dropped it and had rolled back, that they're actually making the deep desert ones a little tougher. And so I guess that's one way to make them equal. That's not quite what I had in mind when I said y'all need to balance things, not to make the deep desert ones harder. But here we are. I'm trying to think what else I wanted to make sure I covered. So we've done the giveaway. We've talked about the pain of the testing client. Um, I will say I'm kind of at the end of the things I can do in the game. I've run chapter 2. I'm at the point of where you go have to kill like 10 people with a shotgun of a specific tier. That's where I'm at, and I haven't done those yet because don't care. And I haven't finished out every single haven't done 100% of the map yet. Yeah, but I am very concerned about the balance of things. I think that for those of us who are typical players, more casual players, that this will be very, very painful for us. I think for people who enjoy combat, that's great. Then you escalate right on up that level 100. Enjoy your augments, enjoy your blueprints, enjoy the spoils of your skills. But the rest of us are going to be locked out. I don't mind doing a testing station at tier 1 5 times to get something that someone at level 5 gets the first time. I don't mind grinding a little bit if it has meaning. I don't like dying 10 times to have one win, though. And that's where I'm at. I have died more times in this round of testing than I have probably since early beta. And I mean, I was looking at across all of the clients, including beta. We had several clients in beta. To now, I've got about 2,200 hours, and I've died a lot in the last month, and I'm very discouraged. I'm very, very discouraged. Um, the poison lab. I think that's Hefe saying, complain again. That's. Did y'all complain about things being too easy? Were you bored? Be bored with this. Fair combat is the thing, and if people are having to kind of glitch a thing to make it work, or if you have 5 or 6 points, how many points in combat skill, you'll be fine. I'm like, but I don't have that because I can't finish the thing, so I can't get 1 point yet. It's great to be able to put points in those things, but if you can't get over the hurdle of point 1, you won't ever make any success. I guess, I mean, run all of those testing stations, or all of the saboteur ones, which aren't combat ones, and get sneaky with it and hope that helps. But inside the testing stations, the sneaky doesn't work well compared to outside places, because you're in a closed room with the boss who throws all these effects at you. I've got an ad starting in a moment. Yeah, Hefe Land. I'm worried. I'm very worried about what this one's going to do for us. I like a good sneak too, and I will do things at range as long as I can. I love a good spit dart. I love the changes to the spit dart that we have. It has a nice beefy thunk feel to it now, and whenever you shoot it at people, you also feel that same thunk when they shoot it back. the Muskerat don't miss. Um, but I like being able to sneak in those inside those testing stations. Is much harder. Oh, hold on. Yes, the control points are being taken away right now because they don't have a whole lot of meaning. The way they work right now is kind of eh. But I think it goes back to they are trying to create some kind of meaningful reason to PvP, and control points have never really been that. I don't know what their plan is. They haven't really given any clues about what their plan is for those changes, other than they've always intended to put the deep desert back the way it was. And I got kind of an, I'm going to say argument with someone because I said, if they put it back the way it was, it's blocking progress again. And they're like, no, it's just stuff on the Arrow. And I'm like, at launch, there was nothing on Arrow but, granite and scrap metal. There was no tier 6 on Arrow at launch. And you had to go like sea level, row C, I think, to even start seeing anything. And even then, it was small nodes. And reducing the number of nodes like it was then, again, will be very complex. So I am very concerned about, we know that the majority of players in this game are PvE players. Okay. And again, not sure what's going on with my. Are we back? Are we back? I don't know what's going on. Good thing we're towards the end. But yes, they're turning the DD back to its original focus. And I'm okay with that, as long as we still have access to things in some fashion. With the idea that, again, if we only have a third of the number of ore spawns in a PvE area, we have to go back 3 times, where someone willing to risk PvP only has to do once. I'm okay with that. I still have access. Risk, reward. Minimal risk, work really hard to get the same reward, because it's, if I want it faster or more, then the risk is higher. I'm good with that. I don't know what they're going to do. I don't know where Meg went. And that's the thing, an acceptable amount of reward. It needs to, and that's why my concerns are with these testing stations, is if I have to run it 10 times to survive it once and my gear is busted, it's not worth it, because then I have to go spend the next however many hours grinding to get the materials back to remake it and repair it. Spice Plast is not easy for us to get because we're a casual group. We have like a tiny bit. People have jobs. A lot of people have life stuff going on. Like Kason, how many hours did you work yesterday? Like 16 hours or something. It's not like he can hang out in game and go, hit Rex in the deep desert. It's not like he can go hit those falling ships and go farm for plates for us. So a high grind activity is going to hurt casual players. And if that's the only activity they're offering us, I'm not sure what direction that leaves for us to go. I guess we shall see. I don't know. And then they've been really, really quiet on things like, people have been requesting things like arenas. They're not, I don't believe they're going to set up arenas like what people have been doing. Witch Guildy. I didn't even touch anything. It's just disconnecting. I'm not sure what's going on. Oh. It says I have an excellent connection. but I don't have an excellent connection. So this might be a good point to wrap up. Maybe next week we'll have a drop date and we can hype some more then. To our winner, remember, find me on Discord. And yeah, yay. I'm on Spotify now. So if you are a Spotifyer, you can see some of the old episodes. My button skills have improved since then. So you guys, I'm seeing you guys live. But if I look over here at Twitch, I'm just seeing it's just spinning. I'm seeing it spin. So I don't know what's going on. If Twitch is possessed or if Streamlabs is possessed, if my internet is possessed. If it wasn't my internet, I'd hear my son howling. So it's probably Streamlabs. I don't know. Um, for future, for those of you who are coming to our Discord to hang out, I'm always down to talk about what other things we could have on the podcast or other guests or people who might be interested in coming on. I know Kason it has a crazy work schedule and can't always make it. Dee's interested, but IRL is a problem. Paulo, I haven't asked because he lives in Brazil and it's summertime and I don't want him to die of heat stroke sitting on his computer. So yeah, in when it's wintertime there, we'll talk. Trying to think if there's anything else. I'm going to look at a cooking stream soon, but I think we're good for the podcast for today. I think this is a good point to wrap it up. Don't forget to come to the Discord if you want to hang out and chat nerdy stuff. We have all kinds of Star Wars and Warhammer and food. Paolo keeps showing us food. We've got the cooking stream going on. And yeah, for the rest of you, I will catch everybody later and I will see everybody out on the sands. No blue. Oh, dual blade. See, you missed last time. I have a short video. Give me a second. I will show that video. Now that you hold on. Video. Dual blades. I'm coming out. The problem with these are just the adept ones. The problem with the dual blades, as you can see, is stamina. They are fun to use, but if you don't have some effort put into your stamina, you're gonna die. And I went out here to fight these guys because they have rapiers. So I wanted to kind of see how an adept one. He ran from me. What a bitch. How the rapier works, because the rapier is really great too, but it's also a dueling weapon and definitely doesn't have. See, there goes my stamina. Now, like, stamina. We did some PvP. Sorbina and a couple of other of us went out to do just to play around with it on one of the wrecks in Haga Basin, and I don't think I've got that video. And we had a good time, but it was who needs stamina and redo because we got none. Because, after about 30 seconds of swing, it's just everybody's staggering. Yeah, that pivot. I wish we could pivot that way. I remember you at work. I forget who it was, who was like, who wants to do this? And I said, I'll do it. And then, like, I'm waiting for everybody to for that person to show up, and like 4 other people show up. We still don't know who was on the bike. Someone took off on a bike, and a whole bunch of these stoppers showed up. And it was like, did you bring friends? And it's like, who's who? And do we need to be concerned? But yeah, the dual blades, the flamey ones are nice. The durability on them goes fast though, and your stamina goes fast, which is reasonable because you're hitting a lot, you're moving a lot. This is probably one of the better cameras I've played with. I struggle with cameras. I can't play Conan anymore because the camera swings too much, which is not a nice feeling. It makes me go, "Bleh." um, but yeah, the rapier I'm loving. I know a lot of people aren't going to like it. It's a new skill to learn. It's not as the old rapier was, and it's a lot. Oh my lord, you're full of contention today. Um, you got to get things timed just right. That was another great battle of late 2024 in the official Discord about directional melee combat. They made a meme of it. It was in the wiki and everything. Um, the lightning gun also, I think there was a lot of concerns about how the lightning gun will impact PvP because it is redonkulously overpowered. I think Iggy's, yeah. I think if you want to wake Iggy Twitch, ask about directional melee combat or mention numbers. I think right now, I think he's just kind of like done. But yeah, so melee. Melee is going to be changed. Stamina changes if you are able to put points and things into that. It's the people are talking about the numbers. To me, I look at numbers. I'm like, big number, go better, faster, harder. I don't know because then you throw in shields and you throw in someone else's modifiers, and I'm just like, I don't know. Get out there and shoot at each other and see what happens. But I would guess Bullet, wherever he went, probably has it. He's been grinding. It's really hard to test all this stuff. I forget which level he said he was at because he likes to play hard, which is fine. I'm glad that they have this stuff here for everybody to play and run through it. It's not for me. Okay, now I'm gonna wrap it up. If you're not already in the Discord, God damn it. Oh yes, the PvP rework soon, and there's going to be people mad. There's going to be people they can't please, and that's just going to happen. I mean, right now I'm not happy, so I don't know. A lot of us will be when things change. There's always a period of adjustment, and a lot of people won't like it. And either we can get glad in the same shorts we got mad in, or we can go play something else. We have that ability to go play something else, and that's okay. Um, because in 6 months the numbers might change again, and they might tweak something else. I'm very worried about the when these changes hit and hurt PvE players and their ability to progress in the Landsrod. I am very concerned about how many like us, because like I said, we're casuals, because we're here for a survival game, will not be able to continue to play because we're progress locked. In a soft way, soft lock, because we just can't get over the hump of the difficulty. So I am worried about what those numbers will do and what they will, because everybody even in the official Discord, the PTC channel Discord, there's a lot of resounding. This is out of balance. Problems with the shield. They removed the shotguns, the drill shots from the testing station levels 1 and 2 because they were one-shotting us. But there's still a lot of balancing problems that need to be fixed, and cranking it up isn't it. So I don't know. I don't know. I see a lot of conversation about this, this number and this percentage and that percentage, and I'm like, all I know is I go in there and I die a lot, and that's not fun. That's my reality. Some of that skill issue, some of it I think is them just being out of whack, and we shall see. All right, for realsies this time. It's third time's the charm. It's been that kind of day with the buttons. I will catch everybody later. Behave. You know who you are. Yeah, it's going to be a challenge. But I will catch everybody later, and I will see everybody out on the sands. Bye.